Doty.
Morning, Mike and Sarah. The good news is we've had a lot of weather around West Michigan, but we haven't had severe weather, so this is a good time to talk about being prepared. We are at the Red Cross in Grand Rapids. Kelly joins me here, a familiar face. You do a lot of stuff with us here, and we're talking about having a kit. We see the commercials. They say, be prepared, have a kit ready, and this really is something that everybody needs to do that's not that hard.
Absolutely. A lot of stuff you can find right in your home. Just get a bin and start putting stuff in it. You can be as organized as you want, but as long as it's in there, then you have a good place to start.
Well, let's look down at the table here. We see toiletries. You probably got these the last time you stayed in a hotel. Peroxide, things that, as you said, you already had that maybe when you go to the store and you're replacing your old stuff, you take the stuff that you're currently using that's half full and put it in the kit, right?
Yeah, you could definitely do that. You could even pick up a couple of things and put one in the kit, put one on the shelf. One suggestion I have, especially for medications and that kind of thing, is to be aware of the expiration date. One great way to kind of turn over the things that you have in your kit is when you get a new prescription or a new can of food or something like that, put the new one in your kit and then use what you have in the kit for yourself then.
You need first aid items. You need somebody who is trained in first aid, at least one family member who knows some basic stuff. But let's talk some of the items down near the front that I think people might not necessarily think of. An adapter for your cell phones or a radio that's solar powered, crank powered, also works as a flashlight.
Absolutely. We have all kinds of great tools that could be a benefit to you if there is a disaster. One that you mentioned is this crank. This is a really cool little gadget here. It's a crank flashlight, so it's got the light here. It's solar powered, so you don't always have to crank it, as long as the sun's shining. It hasn't been the past few days, but
and it can charge your cell phone.
Yes, it can also charge your cell phone. It has a little spot here on the end where you can plug in a cell phone charger and use that. So that's a really cool gadget. Also have a flashlight, which is in this instance is part of a radio. But if you don't have, it's kind of a two-in-one. If you don't find a two-in-one sort of device like that, make sure you do have a crank radio or battery operated, and then a flashlight, and then you can extra batteries if they require.
You've got stuff for the kids. Keep them occupied. And where are our important documents? That's what I want to know.
Important documents. They are here. And they include all kinds of things that I think people tend to forget when they're putting a kit together. Copies of birth certificates, copies of your driver's license, your insurance policies, those kinds of things you should make sure that you have there in case they're lost in the disaster.
And put a little bit of cash, because if you're running out of the house and you don't have your purse or your wallet, you might have a few dollars in there. Guys, you always want to have some food, some water, but it's important to circulate that through every few months to make sure you get rid of the old stuff and get some fresh stuff in. Now, you don't have to get rid of it. If it's nearing the expiration date, then you just eat that stuff and put a few items in there. And this isn't like a long-term bunker sort of thing. This is just a kit in case of a problem that you can have just to get you through a few days till somebody like the Red Cross can come and help. If you want more information, just go to the Red Cross website and they will help you fill out your own preparedness kit. We'll come back in the next hour, talk about some apps that you can use on your phone or mobile device to keep you safe in an emergency. Morning, Mike and Sarah. This, unfortunately, is the view that a lot of people see a Red Cross emergency vehicle from the outside looking through the window. And we want to show you inside one of these. They are called IRV. So we'll introduce you to IRV. James, why don't you come around? Chip joins me once again. We are inside here. IRV stands for, I'm guessing, Emergency Response Vehicle?
Yeah, very good, yeah.
And how many people would be staffed in a truck like this?
So 2 volunteers can drive this through a community to deliver hot meals to people as they clean up their homes. We also use these vehicles to move supplies in between our shelters and our headquarters. These are very multi-purpose vehicles for us.
We talk about flooding potentials. Hopefully we don't have to use one of these trucks here in West Michigan, but if there is flooding, this is what would be rolling out?
We could send this vehicle. You'll see some of our kits here. We've got our nurse's kit, our shelter manager's kit. We've got a casework kit back here. We'll throw lots of cots on here so that we can set up a shelter very quickly. We'll have lots of blankets available for people. Yeah, we'll use use this vehicle to help us get a shelter started.
The red would have food, you've got coffee and drinks over here in the blue, and you say this is a nurse's kit with just about everything they would need, right?
Absolutely. We know that as people come in, they might not have their medications, they might have gotten cuts and scrapes. Obviously, floodwater is an issue there, so our nurses are able to kind of immediately find out what people's medical needs are and meet those.
And down below, you say you can carry even more stuff between the wheels, right?
Yeah, we can actually fit a skid of water or food right in the back of this truck. We've got storage compartments underneath. This is a pretty heavy-duty diesel 450, so this can pull a lot of weight for us.
6 batteries, right?
Absolutely. Keeping
you-
these lights on for
You
us.
have the kits here. These are the basic hygiene kits that you would hand out to people.
This is one of our adult comfort kits. We have a lot of hygiene items in here, everything from a washcloth and tissues to toothbrush. There's even a disposable razor, soap, shampoo. When you're at our shelter, we want to make sure you're comfortable. That's our goal.
And I got a kick out of this. We were laughing earlier, but you also have a kids one, right?
Yeah, so the kids kit also has some toys in it, a stuffed animal, some coloring books, as well as basic hygiene supplies, a toothbrush and toothpaste for
Got to
them.
show. Come on. Who doesn't want that? I might take that one home. I'll make a donation if I can keep the kitty book there. The thing that surprised me was you said volunteers. This is not like some professional big rig driver taking this thing around. This is a volunteer.
No, absolutely. We train volunteers to drive this vehicle. It drives like a big truck. You'll notice it's an ambulance-style body, but it really fits our needs, and it's volunteers that bring this out and do the work in the community.
And how many do we have here in this office?
Just on these 4 counties, we've got about 500 volunteers that can help us out.
And how many trucks?
This is our only national truck, what we consider to be a national. We also have a local truck that helps us do casework, has a lot of radio equipment in as well to help us with communications. In West Michigan total, we have 3 of these. The fleet of these across the U.S. is over 600, so if we need them here in West Michigan, we get them with a phone call.
And if there is a Hurricane Sandy type thing and you send volunteers, would you send the trucks or do you keep them here in case of a problem in our area?
This truck actually spent about 3 months out on Hurricane Sandy.
Outstanding. And if people want to volunteer, you always need volunteers, whether to drive the truck, whether to just man the phones. What can they do?
Absolutely. Our volunteers are critical to our mission, so everything that the Red Cross does is done by volunteers. From blood drives to our health and safety courses to all of our work in disaster. We have volunteers that do disaster assessment and tell us how bad the damage is. We have volunteers delivering services in our shelters, delivering food out of trucks like this. There's tons and tons of opportunities. Almost anybody can bring their skills to the Red Cross.
Send an email, give them a call, just show up, and they'll put you to work, everybody. This is a big truck, too. By the way, I'm 6'3", and I'm almost standing upright in it. So this is a very impressive vehicle doing some very impressive work. Mike and Sarah?